we're going to be going over the biggest problem with driving Empire, but before we do that, make sure to subscribe and drop a link in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so basically, I'm going to go over the problem, and we're going to go over a solution or a few solutions for it. So, it's a very simple problem, and that is that the game is very stale, very dry. Now, what does that mean? It basically means they haven't offered anything new in a very long time to us. Now, you might be like, oh, what are you talking about? We get a new update every week. Well, take a look at the new update every week. What do we get in the new update? 2, 3, 4 cars? It's just more cars at the end of the day every week, and I get it, it's a car game, but they gotta offer something different. I mean, come on, please tell me in the comments, like, that you all can agree with me that you get bored after a little bit, you know, of them releasing the same type of update over and over, and I get it, it's a car game, of course they're gonna add cars in the update, but they gotta add features or something different to change it up besides new cars. Like, I get it, we love Koenigsegg, this is a great example. You know, Koenigsegg's a brand that everyone was talking about how game-changing it would be when it gets added. They added licensed Koenigsegg. Did it really change the game? No. It's just another brand at the end of the day. Every week, all they do is add a random car for you all to purchase, right? And you all would go, you know, do your few races to purchase the car in the update. But do y'all not get bored of that? I don't know if it's just me who's, like, the only one who feels bored or tired of the updates, but basically, I'll be dead honest, like, I think they need to add something different to switch it up, you know? All they do is add a different car every week, and I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't work. Clearly, the game has had so much success within the last year, they're probably making tons of profit off of it, and they could continue releasing the same update over and over, just adding different cars every week, and it works for them. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does clearly work. They get a lot of players from it, but the actual players, like, who have played the game for a little bit, they probably start to get bored of the game after a bit. You know, Driving Empire keeps getting endless new players, but what I'm trying to say is here, basically, after a while, every player, you know, after experiencing a few updates, getting a few new cars and stuff, it gets a little boring, you know. They gotta add some new features to switch things up, you know. I'm sure you all are tired of the same map that we've had in this game for years now, and let's be honest, the map, it's deteriorating. Look at this. It doesn't even function the same as it used to. I never used to have that issue, and now I have random issues like that. So the map itself, you know, it needs to change, you know. It's getting old. We're tired of this map, you know. That's one thing that they could do. That's one solution, you know. Switching up the map. Give us new land to explore. We've had the same map for years, and I know they're working on that solution. So shout out to the Driving Empire team for that. That's something I'll give them. They are actually working to fix this problem, I can tell. But we need other things, other features, you know, new races, new features. We've had the same set of races for a hot minute now. I don't think, what the heck was that, bro? You see, this game starts, that's another issue I want to go into a bit later, bugs. We'll get to that in a bit, but man, look at all this. We've had these races for a long time now. I don't remember the last time they've added new races, so, you know, a nice race refresh will be very good. We could use some new races. I think the newest one we got was the Daytona a few months back. But, like, that was just a rework of a race that they already had in the game. So, I would say, you know, honestly, we could really use a new race. A new race would be very good. You know, new map, new race. Those are some things that they could add to make it a bit more unique. But honestly, you know, races, we already have them in the game. A map, at the end of the day, you'll get used to it very quick. We need some new features for gameplay as well. Let's come up with some of those. New gameplay features could be, for example, jobs. We used to have a job system. They removed it from the game to rework it. It's been a year. They never reworked it. They never released a new system. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their plans are for it. All I know is they took something out of the game that was a functional feature and never gave it back to us. So they removed essentially a functional feature, which maybe they'll add in a future update to be more functional and, you know, do some cooler things with, like, roleplay jobs. But for now, you know, we don't have any of that. You know, they used to have, like, a criminal and cops team, but we can't do that anymore. It was cool when they had that, but sucks that they removed it. Yeah, I mean, I could name, like, 20 jobs right about now that they could add to the game to add roleplay elements that could essentially deepen the gameplay of this game, you know, adding more stuff to do. Let's start off, you know, with some ideas here. Dealership employee, that's 1. Criminal, that's 2. Cop, that's 3. You know, we could have gas station employee, where you do something at a gas station. I don't know what, but I'm sure they could add some feature. That's number 4. We got, let's see what else you could do. There's racing right here. I mean, that's already kind of a job in the game. You wouldn't really count it as, like, I don't know how to explain it, but that wouldn't necessarily be a job. We got cafe employee, that's another one. They could just basically, essentially, you know, make stuff that already is in-game more functional, more roleplay oriented. You know, I know the point of the game is racing, but if we're talking about things to expand to do in the game, that's something that they could change. You know, it honestly sucks that they did remove the job system that we used to have, because that was just at least a little bit of that, but now we don't have any of that. Now other new features that they could add. Let's get on to something that might be a bit controversial. Now hear me out, it's a little controversial and a lot of people wouldn't like it, but a lot of people also could like it, and it's an auctioning system. So an auctioning system, I know you might not like it at first. You'll be like, oh, I don't know, you know, people could get scammed or something. They could, obviously, you know, any auctioning system in a game, or where there's trading, auctioning, anything like that, there's always a risk of a scam. You just gotta watch out for that stuff. If you can look past that and envision the future, hear me out. Games like Forza Horizon 5, one of the best car games out there, they have an auctioning system, and it's really cool. It changes the game. It would add a whole new element of gameplay where basically people can try to bid and buy cars in the auctioning system, essentially allowing them to get cars for cheaper, which would be nice, but also allowing them to get old limiteds or rare cars that they missed out on. Like, I don't even have all the cars myself, and I've been playing for years. I have 263 out of 275. You know how much I would bid to get those 12 cars that I'm missing? Probably a lot of money, but basically the point is, you know, it could allow people to transition cars around, you know, to people. So let's say, you know, you're quitting the game, you could essentially get some rare cars out in the community to other people. It could be a cool feature of the auction system. It could also, you know, be really fun to, you know, try to bid cars, get rare cars, you know, auction house sniping, basically. That's what some people call it in other games, where they sit in the auction house trying to find a rare car, and when one pops on sale, they'll just try to bid really fast and get it. I would love to do that, honestly. I would make videos about that, doing that. And I could also, you know, give away cars to people through the auction system. And I'm sure, you know, many people would love, you know, being able to give away cars to their friends and that type of stuff. It could be really cool to see an auction system, basically. That's what I'm getting at. Now, I do have one more idea that's also taken from Forza. You know, Forza has a lot of cool features. So if y'all want any ideas for stuff that you should recommend to Driving Empire, Forza Horizon 5, check out what that game has to offer. But this next idea, we had something similar in the past. People didn't like it too much, but I'm gonna offer a different way of doing it. Let me explain. So basically my idea is a wheel spin system. It might ring some bells, might be like, oh no, not the crate system again. It's not gonna be like the crate system. I promise there won't be any gambling involved. The wheel spin system, hear me out. When you complete, here's my thought. When you complete a race, you could get a wheel spin. That's kind of how Forza does it, I think. So basically, let's say, you know, maybe there could be a leveling up system in Driving Empire. Either you level up, or like every level you level up based off of experience you get from racing, you get a wheel spin, or just every race you complete, you could get a wheel spin. Just hear me out here. This wheel spin could have, maybe you could either win in-game cash and in-game upgrades. You know how you have to go through the upgrade system right here? Let me just show you. We got the upgrade system. You go here, boom, performance engine. Let's say, you know, it could say instead of purchase, it would be use your free engine upgrades. So you could get engine upgrades for free from the wheel spin, or maybe even cars in there. Now hear me out though, they should have the cars also the ones available in the dealer. So let's say this Jesco, it's available in the dealer. If they could put it in the wheel spin as well, so therefore you don't have to spin a gambling wheel to try to get a car that is already in game. You could just get it, and then if you already have it, it'll give you the money for it or something like that. That's my thought, you know, have it so there's no, you know, no real money spent. You unlock it from doing races, so that's step one, you know, you unlock it by in-game play, not spending money. And then two, it's stuff that you could either just purchase in-game already, or, you know, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, it won't be anything that will limit players. It'll only be stuff that players can get for free. It just adds a fun little element, something a little fun to do. It doesn't have any of the issues that the gambling crates had back when those were a thing. It's just a thought I had. I don't know if people would like that too much though, but I personally think it could be cool if it's done in the right way, like I tried to explain. But that's just my thought process on it. Now, obviously, those are some big things, you know, to request. You know, an auctioning system, that's huge. You know, the wheel spin system. They already tried something in the past and people didn't like it, so they might be a little scared to do something like that, you know. Requesting these things is a lot to ask for, and you know, I got a whole list of more stuff. I'll just list off a few more examples before we wrap it up. Helicopters, give them a revamp, add racing for them. Boats, do the same thing. Motorbikes, do the same thing. There's so much that they could add. There's so many things that are already in the game that could be expanded upon. You know, they could just make it that much better to be a fun feature in the future. But I don't know, honestly, if they would actually do all that. But it's always fun to talk about with you guys. So if you got any suggestions for them, comment down below. Obviously, they'll add what the community wants. So if enough people say, hey, we want this, maybe they'll do it. I don't know. So we'll see if we can get any of these things added in the future, but for now, obviously, these are just ideas. I think the big problem with Driving Empire is that it's stale. We only get cars over and over. They need to add something unique like I presented. But that is going to be everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribe to the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check the video screen here. YouTube thinks to like it. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.